welcome back to the channel, Jamie Friend Colors. My name is Jamie, and we are here for Which Paper's Better? Marker Edition! Hopefully I made that look cool. Probably not, but you know, we can always hope. Okay, so as many of you know, I had PRK surgery, so I haven't been filming in the last couple of weeks. My vision is still not the best, so I don't want to do detail work, but I've been very curious as to which one of these papers is best for my alcohol markers. So we are going to test that today. So I have 3 papers here. This one is the Spectrum Noir paper. So we will put that here. Spectrum Noir. I will link all of these in the description box down below. And we are going to test with Copics on every paper so that it's fair across the board. Okay, this one is the Copic paper. So, and again, Copic markers. And then this one is the Arteza paper. All right. So we've got all of that labeled. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Come on. Here we go. Okay, I hope that that is in focus. Are you in focus? I sure hope so, because I can't tell. Okay, wouldn't that be sad if the whole thing was out of focus? I wouldn't know. Alrighty, so we are, where are we at? Okay. So as you can see, there are some differences right away in paper. This one is a much cooler white. It has more of like a blue tone in it. This is the Arteza, whereas the Spectrum Noir has more of like a cream or yellow tone to it. I mean, I would consider all of them white. And if I saw it by itself, I would think, oh, it's just a white piece of paper. But seeing them all together, there is a bit of a difference. And then the other right on noticeability to these papers is that the Arteza is much lighter. It's much flimsier, which could be good because it's easier to go through your printer. So the Copic is much thicker. And then the Spectrum Noir, I think, is the thickest. Okay. So, to the feel, the Copics is definitely the smoothest. Okay, so let's put on here that this, as a note, this is the smoothest. This is the lightest. Okay, camera, don't give me issues today because I can't see. Okay, so the Arteza is definitely the lightest or thinnest. Maybe thinnest would be a better word. Thinnest. And then the Spectrum Noir is definitely the thickest. Okay, just so we are keeping track. So we're just gonna pick one and start. Maybe we'll kind of start, well, let's start with Arteza, okay? It's the closest to the right hand. All right, I have picked 3 Copic markers. We're gonna do this. I will probably speed it up, but I will show you what I'm doing. So on, this is my first marker. This is WG13 or YG13, which is chartreuse. I always think chart reuse because that's how it's spelled. So if I say it funny, sorry. And then we have the G17, and what the heck is this called? Who knows? Forest green. Okay. And then this one, our darkest one, is BG49, and it is duck blue. That's funny. My kids are out there watching DuckTales and Duckburg, and this is duck blue. It's good. Good, good. Okay. So I'm going to take the chartreuse, and I'm going to color in our first box. Ooh, okay. That saturated the paper very quickly. So we're going to, I hope I don't rip a hole in this paper, but that will be telling. Okay, we're gonna go and we're gonna fill in the first 2 boxes. Okay, then we're gonna fill in the first 3 boxes. Okay, then we're gonna do the 4 boxes. Five boxes. All of the boxes. Okay, I think I got my camera fixed. It's what I get for not filming for a couple of weeks. Okay, so there we have it. So this box here has 1 layer of marker, 2 layers of marker, 3 layers of marker, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can see that nice gradation. Let's see. Oh, it didn't even, well, I mean, that's saturated there, but I don't see any on my mat, so that is good. Okay, let's grab the forest green and do the same thing. So I'm going to speed this up because we could be here all night. Who knows, okay? So here we go. Now I want to do the other pages as well. I'm going to do them exactly the same, and I've been trying to decide if I want to do them all the same color or if I can switch colors and do different colors on each page. My issue is that probably, I mean, some colors blend easier than others, and we don't want that to get in the way of our test. So I think I'm going to do them all the same. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be right back to look at and compare this part of our little test. Okay, so let's take a look at the Arteza paper. And what I am looking for is, how is the gradient? Like, when does they all become like the same value? And I'm really not seeing a ton of difference after 3. So I would say right here, about 4 layers is where it is, the paper is completely saturated and we're not getting any more buildup. So 4, I'll kind of connect these so we can see. Okay, so 4 layers right there with the Arteza. You can kind of see that on the back as well. See, it's very, where it's saturated. All right, but I still didn't get like anything on my mat. All right, let's look at the Spectrum Noir, see if it has any difference. So we have, this is the first layer, second layer, 3 layers, 4 layers, 5, 6, and 7. And I think I think 5, because I think I see a little bit of a difference here. Not as much on the blue, but I do here. Blink my eyes a couple of times. Look at it on my monitor and in real life. I mean, this is not an exact science. This is all perspective. So if you guys see something different, let me know in the comments. But I'm going to say 5. Because it's kind of right here where we're not getting any more. Alright. You see how this one, like, it doesn't saturate the paper as quickly? See, look at the back. See the difference? Ah. This one, even the light layers, like, it saturates the paper very quickly. Whereas the lightest layers, ugh, get out of the way, get out of the way. On this one, nowhere near as much. So that is, so I'm going to say 5. On that, the green there, I could even go with 6, but I'm going to say 5. Okay. And then with the Copic paper, let's see. On the blue, I see much more differentiation here than I did on the others. Let's look at the back just to see. So this one, it does get more saturation. The Spectrum Noir is the thickest paper, so that makes sense on that. But it does like make a difference. Like I see a difference between these 2 colors. This one looks darker to me. And on the blue as well, I can see a difference here. So I'm going to say that this is a 6. I'm going to say it's a 6. So, because I see that difference that I don't see as much here. Especially on the blue. Like, these don't seem to be as dark. Like, this seems to be able to get darker. Okay. So we're going to say 6. Okay. All right, then on our next one, we're gonna take two colors and see if we can blend them together. So we're gonna take our lightest color and our darkest color, or our blue. So this is going to be YG13, chart, reuse. And this one is BG49, duck blue. Duck blue. Every day the time said duck blue. Okay. How do I want to do this? So we'll see how this works. Good. That's the wrong lid. And then for this one, we want all three colors. So we have the YG13, the G17, and the BG49. And I'm going to fill this in just like I would if I was like coloring it. So I'm going to start with the lightest color. And blend it together so that we have that nice gradient. And I kind of feel like my paper is saturated, and if we kind of, yeah, it's pretty saturated. Okay, I really like this gradient down here. It looks really nice. All right, so this, we'll see, saturated at, we said 4. Okay, just making little notes at the bottom. Okay, let's go to our next one. We're going to do the exact same thing. Let them dry before we compare. Dry as well, and let's take a look at our first one. I'm going to close these markers. I don't want to leave them open. Oh, this gradient I think looks really nice. I think everything blended really good. Yeah, and it does get pretty dark up here. Overall, I think it blends pretty good. I wouldn't be unhappy with that. Let's color in our little flower that we have here. Kind of as our real life representation. So we'll just take our chartreuse. Like how I would if I was actually coloring. At this is a little more realistic in size. I would take my darkest color and I would flick it in. Okay, and then I take my middle color. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna I'm coloring this like I would in real life, so I'm gonna take that dark blue because I want it to see if I can get it a little darker down there. I don't know that it's really taking it, but we'll try. And then we'll go back to our chartreuse. Okay, we'll let that dry while we look at our next paper. And it's very nice and saturated there. Okay, Spectrum Noir. Bum, bum, bum. Now, of course, we're going to have some human error because I am not a robot, so I may have done things not as uniform in one. I think this one's blended better. What do you guys think? I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I kind of think the Arteza is blended better. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's do the flower so that we can compare with just the, oh, put lids on wrong things. What? What's happening? Help. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. The chartreuse. Okay, and then our duck blue. Okay, and then our forest green. And then the duck blue again. See if I can get that center a little darker. Okay, and then the chartreuse. All right, we'll let that dry. So we look at this one. Okay, so this is the Copic. Is the Arteza just blended better because I did it first, or what is happening here. So this looks really nice here. This, I don't know. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Right there, I kind of like the way the Arteza paper is blended better. Again, it could be human error on my part, but I mean, just looking at it. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll color the flowers and compare the flowers. They might be a better representation. Kind of letting you guys see. Interesting. They're about the same. Okay, let's do the flower so we can kind of see more accurately here. I think I have some blue on that marker. There we go. Okay. Okay, flick some blue in there. We'll make it look really nice. Try our best here. Forest green. And we go back to the duck blue because we've done that on all of our others. Okay, and then back to the chartreuse. Okay. Okay, we have to let it dry now. So let's put our markers away and make our notes. Did I do that again? No, I did it right that time. Okay, so this is the Copic. It's the smoothest and it saturated at a 6. At a 6. Okay, and then this is the Spectrum Noir, and it saturated at a 5. And I think the Arteza up here kind of won our blend on that. I just can't see any other way here. So he wins the top blend. Wins top blend. Okay. All right, then let's compare our flowers here. Okay. I think the blend is better out here, but I do think that you get a darker in here. Okay. I think they both look good though. I'm not unhappy with either one of them. Are you dry? No, you're not dry. These two are pretty close to being dry. Need a heat gun. They're all out in my shop with the encaustics. Oh, stretch. Okay, let's see. Here's our Copic. I think we get like the biggest contrast from our light and dark on this one, and I like that because of this. I think it looks a little cleaner. Of course, that could just be my eyes. I just feel like on this one, there's just not as much contrast, but there's definitely good blend, but not, you know, you just can't get as dark. Between these two. Okay, there's all three of them, so you guys can kind of make your own decisions. Because again, it's all like what you prefer and what you want. Do you want the smoothest blend, or do you want a darker contrast? Do you want something in the middle? Do you want a really smooth paper that's going to protect your brush nib? Or do you want a thicker paper, you know? Or do you want the thin paper that's going to fit through your printer the easiest? Though I haven't had any problems putting either of these through my printer, but I have a beast of a printer. So I have a laser or cartridges instead of ink, you know, all that stuff. So I think it kind of depends on what you want. I like how much the Arteza blended up here, how well it blended. But I hate that it doesn't get darker than that. Like, I want some deep darks. So that kind of bums me out with the Arteza. The Spectrum Noir is definitely the toothiest. I mean, it doesn't have a ton of tooth. But it is hard for me to differentiate between like the Spectrum Noir paper and just my like cardstock that I have lying around. It's a little, sometimes I'm like, oh no, maybe I didn't print this on Spectrum or on marker paper. Maybe this is just cardstock. But so that's a little bit of something, I don't know. But it works fine. Like, I think most of my Hannah Carlson book is printed on the Spectrum Noir paper, and I haven't had any issues with it. And I believe it is, like, it's a cheaper option than the Copic. I'll put here on the screen what the prices are of each paper when I'm editing, so that I have the best, most accurate prices for you. This is my binder that I have my Hannah Carlson book in that I have been working on. This is one that I wanted to finish or do the whole book in 2021, and it's like the one I have the the most chance of actually completing. So we'll just take a quick look through, because yeah, this is all on Spectrum Noir paper, and I haven't had any problems. I mean, there's the, like, I get, you know, skin is always hard, but for the most part, it has worked just fine. I'm excited to try the Arteza, but it does concern me because I haven't actually colored anything on the Arteza paper. It's new to me, but I am concerned of not being able to get those really dark tones. So we will see. I love this one. I just love her color palette. It's so pretty. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, it's because I'm coloring this picture at the moment, so that's why it's not in there. But yeah. So, and I have used the Copic paper, and I very much enjoy it. I would assume that it is the priciest of the three, but I have enjoyed it. Yeah, I have used it before. I have enjoyed it. I don't have any problems with it. So at the end of the day, it's what you want to use your paper for, what your reasons are for picking a paper. If you need a thin paper to go through your printer, I don't think the Arteza is bad. I think it blended really nice, and it is thin enough to go through any printer. So booyah on the Arteza for that. Out of Spectrum Noir and Copic, what's your budget? You know, if you need a cheaper paper, then maybe Spectrum Noir is your paper. If you are very concerned about protecting those brush nibs, I would go with Copic. So that's my 2 cents for what it's worth from the blind woman in Utah. So I hope you guys found this informational. I'm always interested in paper. I don't know, I'm a paper snob. I absolutely hate like the Create Space tissue paper that people think I don't understand. Like I don't. Like I will, if I love the image, I will print it on different paper. I can't stand it. I'm a snob. I'm sorry. I think it's wonderful that those that can use it and like make such beautiful things out of it, like Dee Dee Willingham and Julia's passion for pencils, they can use that paper and make it great, and I just botch it up. I hate it. And I don't enjoy my coloring time, so I will print it on different paper. So I was interested to see what the differences were in this paper. I hope you found them interesting. I might have to buy some other kinds. If you guys have suggestions of different papers that you want to see compared, let me know in the comments down below, because I am more than willing to compare papers for you. I love it. I think this was fun, and it was something I could do without seeing perfectly. So I'm going on vacation this weekend, so it'll probably be another week before I film again. So hopefully my eyesight will be better by the next video. So I'm hoping that we get to color something, because I am dying. It might be something more simple, but it will be fun. All right, you guys, I hope you have an awesome day or a week, or what's my outro? Do I remember? It's been too long. I hope you guys have an awesome week or weekend. That you find time to just relax, take a deep breath, let that stress go, and maybe throw some color around for me. Please throw some color around for me, because I'm struggling over here not being able to see fine details. I bought reading glasses just so I can like see the details. So like, whoa. So throw some color around for me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!